Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the video, and as always today we are looking at ways to make your money make you money, and specifically today through P2P lending and the Hive5 platform. Now, because of this channel, I always am looking for different ways for my money to make money, as well as obviously make money in the first place, and that leads me to discover all parts of the internet, some more interesting than others. But this one I thought was particularly quite interesting for the returns it can offer and something a little bit different. As always, this is not financial advice, and this is just for some sort of entertainment purposes or whatever you choose to use it as. But should we take a look at Hive5 and P2P lending and see what it can offer? Firstly, if this is your first rodeo and you've not heard of P2P lending before, P2P lending is of course peer-to-peer lending, which means quite simply that you are lending directly to people without the intermediary of a bank. This has kind of two benefits from the borrower and the lender, those two sides of things, but it also has increased risk at the same time. The plus side of this is, of course, when you are lending as a peer-to-peer lender, you can have a higher rate of interest than you would. Well, you can't lend, you're not a bank, so you can't lend your money out. But the interest rates that you get back tend to be higher than you would if you were lending money in any other way. And typically, it's a much easier way for people to borrow money at the same time. So you can do personal or business loans through Hive5, for example. And they offer two different types, and I'll dig more into those in a bit. And instead of the crazy payday loans that used to exist, you know, the Wongas and people like that would charge ridiculous things like 3,000 odd APR, which is a crazy percent per year. These are the similar sort of package where you can borrow money for the short term as a personal loan, but the rates of percentage of interest are a lot less. And then the same applies for a business. You might need a cash injection for your business on the short term, cash flow, etc., etc. It's much easier to get a loan like this than it is one from a bank, which actually takes a very long time for both of these different examples. So P2P lending tends to allow people to have access to money that wouldn't necessarily have it before. But again, this does equally come with some inherent risks as well. Like I said, I always try and find different ways that my money can make money and get the best return back for that. So that's always what I'm looking for. Sometimes it's riskier than others, sometimes it's not. This is kind of in between. It's not a full-on altcoin crazy crypto, and it's not something super solid like an ETF. It's kind of in between. But how do the returns look? Well, let's dig into Hive5, a bit about their background, and then we'll start to look at the returns you can make through the platform. So Hive5 has been around only since 2022, and in that time they have lent out over 4 million euros, which is in like less than a year is pretty impressive. They're a company that was founded in Croatia, and I believe Croatia is popular for P2P lending services and platforms because of their laws around P2P lending allowing it basically. And so a lot of the ones you'll find are actually headquartered in Croatia, and Hive5 is no different. Hive5. I always want to say Hive5. Hive5. But they're no different. And like I said at the beginning, they offer two different types of loans, either personal or business loans. And so that is, as a borrower, you can borrow as a business or as a person like you or I. And that tends to come, what I believe, is with different rates of interest to return. As a personal loan, you'll be paying 14% interest, which compared to a bank is high. Even with current interest rates rising, that is a high interest rate. But it's again more accessible. And through a business loan, you will get an interest rate of 12%. So that's how it works. So you as an investor can get the returns of either 14 or 12% on your money, which is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie, especially these days. I would love 14% return. So I thought, I'm gonna give it a try. But first with anything, obviously capital is at risk. I'm like, okay, well I could lose this, but what are the risks? And I wanted to find out exactly what the risks were before I chucked my hard-earned money into something completely unknown. So I asked them, I said, what are the inherent risks? And they went, well, capital's at risk. And I said, yes, but what do you do to protect your users against that sort of thing? And I was pleasantly surprised, I'm not gonna lie. So Hive5 Hive5 have a buyback obligation. So if the loan is late in its repayment by like 60 days, they will be obliged to buy back that loan. So again, they will buy it from you as the investor. So you get that money back with the accrued interest back to you. That is their guarantee, which I kind of think is a pretty good protection. I was happy with that, but there is more. So business loans, because they tend to be for more money, because they're business loans, and that tends to be where people want it more, you know what I mean? They have a double shield agreement, which means not only do they have the buyback guarantee, but they are also secured with collateral, which is then tracked. So it means that everything is that much more secure, which means that when it comes to you and I as investors trying to put in our money in here, seeking these lovely, lovely rewards, that we should be put more at ease. Is it a guarantee? Nope. But does it make me feel better about putting my money in there? Yeah. So I did that. I put my money in there, didn't I? Yes, I did. Yep. And the platform is actually very simple to use. You can deposit directly via things like Revolut, which helps for me, but most online banks you can just directly connect to and deposit your money through the web interface. And it allows you to then pick your selected investment. You can then pick an investment from a person or an investment from a company, as in a loan, and you can pick the interest rate. So obviously, I picked the personal loan that I was going to invest in. Why? Because it had a 14% return, and I thought, YOLO. Yes, it is 2023, and I just said YOLO. Deal with it. Now, I am only dipping my toe into this because I thought I'm going to give it a go, and this was only a 30-day loan. So it's a 30-day loan, 14% return, so when you look at it, it's like 1.666667% return on that month period. But I'll take that. I want to see if it works. And then, one of the things they have on their platform at the same time is the ability to create a portfolio where one loan ends, it automatically reinvests in another one. You select the criteria. I'll put up on the screen right now so you can see me going through that process. You can create your criteria of what loans you want to invest in, minimum, maximum levels of return, or 12 or 14%, what you're looking for, and as soon as one loan finishes, it will automatically reinvest. You can select your period that you want it to invest for, so you could have it just set to 1 month periods and just set to personal loans. So technically, in that way, you could have it so it's generating potentially 1.6666% return every single month on your investment. So then it just gets reinvested on the higher amount. So the compounding effect of this actually could lead to a potential over a year of around 20% return of the compounded effect, right? Because it has to reinvest at the same time, which is an incredibly good return. So I thought, I'm gonna give that a go. Now, I don't just go crazy and chuck everything into these sorts of things because I like to, like I said, dip my toe in at the same time. But I am thinking that this might be a good little percentage of my portfolio to give a try. It's a decent return, much better than some of the ones predicted on my other sides, which are longer term. But this is more liquid. It's easy to get access to. It's not like held for longer periods than you tie up for, and it's worth a try. I quite like the platform. I think it looks really good, and they've got I've looked into their track record and everything like that, and the returns they have, and they look really good. Like genuinely, they look like a really good option. So I thought, I haven't tried the P2P lending side of things. Why not give Hive5, I still can't get my tongue around that, Hive5 a shot? So, obviously, I've only just started this. I'm currently halfway through my first loan period because I did a 30-day one and I started this a couple of weeks ago. So I'm only halfway through that first period, but as soon as that's finished, it will then automatically reinvest. So, of course, I will come back after I have had this running for a few months to let you know what those returns are like and if they live up to the expectation that I have. But the barrier to entry for this is pretty low as well. You can invest from 10 euros. It's nothing. You can start dipping your toe in very, very cheaply. And that obviously lowers the risk. I obviously have put a little bit more in because I have a higher tolerance for risk, and I feel like it's my duty to you guys to try these things out for reasons. If you equally want to try this out, don't forget that you can try the link in the description. I'll pin it in the comments as well. It's realtalk.business/Hive5. Hive5. I will always look for different ways that we can make our money make us more money rather than the rest of it. I don't think that anyone should have to just make their money, put it in the bank take it, and us not get any of the benefits for making our money work for us. So I will always look for different ways that you and I can increase our net worth and our wealth by making our money work better for us. And I think everyone should have that ability. And this is what I try and bring to you guys. If you have any questions about Hive5, don't forget, drop them in the comments. Let me know of other potential P2P lending platforms that you're using, that you have used, that you've got experience with. And anything like that. Don't forget, you can also join my Discord server. I'm trying to create a community of people that want to make their money work for them, as well as different ways to make money as well. So it covers everything in there, from making money themselves, building businesses. I love to try and help people create their own businesses from their own ideas, as well as making money through investments and in different ways like that. So don't forget to join my Discord. It's at realtalk.business/Discord. And if you've enjoyed this video, as always, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more, share it with your nan, and otherwise I will see you on the next one. Peace.